After losing his wife, Ifeanyi vowed never to remarry, only to protect his daughter, Amarachi. He faced betrayal, heartbreak, and poverty, working day and night just to keep her smiling. A Father's Day story that will touch your soul. It was the third night after Nkechi's burial. Rain poured like heaven was mourning her too. The house was silent, except for the quiet sobs of 3-year-old Amarachi, who refused to sleep without her mother. Her father, Ifeanyi, 35, tall and ruggedly handsome with eyes darkened by sorrow, sat beside her bed with a storybook in hand. He hadn't shaved in days. He hadn't eaten properly either. "Daddy, when is mommy coming back?" Amarachi asked, her eyes wide with innocent hope. Tears welled up in Ifeanyi's eyes, but he held them. "Mommy is with the angels now, my baby. But Daddy is here. Daddy will always be here." From that night on, Ifeanyi swore never to love another woman again. All his love was for his daughter. He gave up parties, social life, and even job opportunities that demanded travel. She became his world. Balancing work and raising a child wasn't easy, especially as a single father. Eventually, he hired a nanny, Madam Kaik, a woman in her 40s who came highly recommended. But behind Ifeanyi's back, Madam Kaik was a nightmare. She locked Amarachi inside, denied her food, and used the cane more than kindness. Amarachi never complained because she thought it was normal. Until one day, Ifeanyi came home early. He opened the door and heard a faint whimpering from the storeroom. He rushed in and found Amarachi, hungry, dirty, and scared, curled up beside the mop. "What is this?" he roared. Madam Kai came up with excuses, but it was too late. He fired her that night and sat on the floor, cradling his daughter like a broken man. From that day, he began to distrust women. No one would ever hurt his daughter again. Amarachi grew into a bright, pretty girl with a sharp tongue and even sharper eyes. At 10, she became best friends with her primary school teacher, Miss Tonia, a kind, gentle woman who took extra care of her. Miss Tonia, 29, chocolate skin with a soft voice and glowing eyes, began to visit on weekends, bringing books and home-cooked meals. Amarachi adored her and, unknowingly, became a little matchmaker. "Daddy, why don't you marry Miss Tonia? She's nice and she loves jollof like you." Amarachi giggled. Ifeanyi laughed awkwardly. But the more he watched Tonia, the more he noticed her gentleness and kindness. He let his guard down. 2 years later, on Amarachi's 12th birthday, Ifeanyi proposed. The neighborhood cheered. Amarachi jumped for joy, thinking she now had a second mom. But everything changed once the ring was on Tonia's finger. The sweet teacher became a silent tormentor. She began to scold Amarachi for little things: burnt toast, spilled milk, untidy hair. Then it grew worse, denying food, slapping her, and even threatening to send her to boarding school, where brats belong. One evening, Ifeanyi came back early from a job and heard Tonia shouting, "You are not my daughter. Stop pretending to be." And then a slap. Amarachi cried. He stormed in like thunder. "What did you say to her?" he demanded. Tonia stammered, "I was just disciplining." He raised his voice, eyes blazing. "Get out. Engagement over. You're not her mother, and you'll never be." Tonia left that night. Ifeanyi held his daughter close that night. "Never again, Amara. It's you and me now. No woman will ever hurt you again." Life turned hard after that. His goods from China, fabric and shoes, were seized at the port due to unpaid shipping taxes. He lost everything. They moved from a 2-bedroom flat in Ikeja to a 1-room in Mushin. But Ifeanyi didn't give up. He became a bus driver by day, a bricklayer on weekends, and even did night security when things got worse. Yet, Amarachi never lacked school fees, clothes, or even a gift on her birthday. She never forgot. By the time she turned 18, Amarachi had earned a full scholarship to study medicine in the UK. On the night before she left, she sat with her father, tears in her eyes. "You gave me everything, Papa. You gave up your life so I could have one. I promised to make you proud." He smiled through his tears. "Just be happy, my child. That's all I need." 7 years passed. One evening, Ifeanyi sat in a small rented shop where he now sold recharge cards and drinks. He wore the same old cap and dusty shirt. Just then, a black Range Rover pulled up. From it stepped a beautiful young woman in a white pantsuit, glowing like the sun. "Papa." He stood frozen. It was Amarachi. Now 25, a fully qualified doctor, her hair styled in neat curls, skin glowing, eyes full of joy. She ran to him and hugged him tight. Behind her was a tall white man in a suit. "Good evening, sir. I'm James, Amarachi's fiancé." Ifeanyi blinked. "Fiancé?" "Yes, Papa. He's kind, respectful, and he treats me like gold. But I won't marry him unless you approve." Ifeanyi laughed and cried at the same time. "If he loves you half as much as I do, he has my blessing." A week later, they organized a massive surprise Father's Day party in Enugu. James had flown in Ifeanyi's old friends, and Amarachi gifted her father a brand new house and a car with the plate number, Papa First. As music played and guests ate, Amarachi stood before the crowd, holding the mic. "If you see me today, thank my father. When he had nothing, he gave me everything. I call him my hero, my best friend, my role model. Happy Father's Day, Papa. I love you till my last breath." One day, long after Amarachi and James had moved to Abuja and had twins, Ifeanyi found an old letter she had left under his pillow before leaving for the UK. "Dear Papa, I know you're tired. I see it in your eyes. But thank you for never giving up. One day, I give you the life you deserve. I'll buy you a house, I'll make you rest. But until then, please stay strong. Because I live each day to make you proud. Your daughter, Amarachi." He folded the letter, eyes misty. He had no wife, no riches, no mansion. But he had something greater. A daughter who loved him. Moral lessons. A father's love is one of the purest forms of love. Not all sacrifices are seen immediately, but they yield fruit in time. Love is not just about words, but about action, patience, and protection. Children remember more than we think. They grow up carrying our sacrifices in their hearts. Not every partner deserves a place in your child's life. Choose wisely. Do you enjoy this story? Don't forget to drop a sweet comment for all dads. Also hit the subscribe button to keep you updated on interesting stories.